What's going on, guys? It's Ahmad here from investwithtaha.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing this little guy, the DJI Mini. I believe this is honestly an older drone, not older, but a couple years. This is not new. This is new to me, and I happen to be reviewing it today. I wasn't really a drone guy, to be honest, and I still don't consider myself that, but somebody got me the Neo for Christmas, and I started playing around with that, and then I was kind of disappointed with it. You'll see I dropped a review on that earlier. So then I upgraded to this one because I wanted to have the full drone experience. So there's a lot of things I like about this. For the most part, I'm happy with this purchase, and a couple things I didn't like. We'll get into it. So this is the actual piece here. All right, so here's the drone itself. On its own, with the stock battery, it weighs in at just 249 grams, which means you don't have to register it if you're using it for recreational use. But super small, super compact. Obviously, when it's folded in like this, it doesn't really take up much space at all. You can store it away very easily, and you have this protective cover over the gimbal and the camera lens, which pops off right down here. You just press up on that lid, take it right off just like that. So to open up these rotors, super easy. All you got to do is just gently bring them back on both ends. And then these bottom ones are a little tricky. You might be tempted to pull them this way, but actually you got to just gently guide them downwards, and then they come up like that. Boom. And then right here, that's your power button. So you just press on that once to check your battery life, and then you double press it to turn on the drone. And the drone and the rotors will do a quick little, see what I mean? And then the gimbal will orient itself, and it'll make that little noise, and that's how you know it's on. And then all your lights will come on. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what all the lights mean at this point, but I'm still learning with this as I go. So this is super cool, very easy to use. As far as the actual controls on the remote itself, also very easy. Here's the remote. It comes with two little toggle sticks here that are stored in the back of it. You just tighten them on like that by hand. And usually while I'm doing this is when I turn on the remote. I press it twice, same thing, it makes that noise, and it takes about 20 seconds or so to actually get started. But as you can see, it's a very nice display here, very good image, and super easy to use, honestly, as a novice beginner. So we'll go through this real quick. I'm not going to actually fly this thing indoors, but the second half of this video, we'll fly it outside. And like I said, your controls are very straightforward. You got your up and your down on the drone right here. This will operate it up, down, and rotate it. And then this stick to the right here also helps it to fly forward, sideways, or backwards. And then you have these different control modes. So right now it's an N, which means normal, but you can also set it into Cin mode, which is if you want to get cinematic shots, cool looking, slower shots, it hovers a little bit slower. And then you also have sport mode if you're looking to fly faster, do some more evasive maneuvers, stuff like that. So I usually just leave it in normal. And then this button right next to the toggle switch is actually your home button. So that means if you're flying this thing out in the sky and you get lost in the sky and you want it to come back, you can just press that button, and there's also a way to do it through the screen that I'll show you. So like I said, super straightforward. To actually get this thing flying, all you got to do is you press right here on the takeoff button, you press and hold it, and when it's actually in flight, it's the same thing to land it. You just will press at that same spot, and it'll be literally the same button, and you just hold that down. Like I said, I'm not going to fly it in here, but just to go through the controls real quick, you have your different modes here. You can go from auto to pro. Pro lets you do all the settings yourself, the shutter speed, all that stuff, but it makes it for a darker image. It's kind of a little bit more complicated for beginners, so I just leave it in auto, and it looks great. I'll just change that camera angle so you can see a little bit more. And then the other thing that's cool is you can turn it from vertical to horizontal, the lens angle, which is awesome if you're doing social media stuff and things like that. And then if you press right up here by the snapshot button, that's one way that you could take a snapshot. You also got your record button here and your camera button here to take a picture. But right above the snapshot button, you'll enter a little section where you can do different modes. You can do photo, video, and quick shots. And if you go into quick shots, you can do all kinds of different modes, such as a circling mode, something called droney, where it goes straight up. A couple of different things that actually won't work at this moment because we have this indoors. And also, I'm just going through the basics today. I'm not going to get too in depth into this. See the screen here. So get going, we'll hold the takeoff button. We'll get flying. You'll see it's right here in front of me. And I can control the camera lens. Right now it's pointing down, but with this little turn wheel here, I can make it go up, down, any direction I want. See, just like that. And then with this one, I can go up and it actually is super responsive. It goes super fast going up, super fast going down. Like I said, I rotate side to side, and then with this one here, I can turn, fly side to side, or forward and backwards. So you can do all kinds of stuff. But just as far as basics, like knowing how to fly this, learning how to fly it, and just getting the basic shots for the stuff that I use it for, which is, like I said, property tours, it's really good. Very easy to use. I have no complaints about it. I'll show you guys the video of this from the screen, but this is pretty awesome of a drone, honestly. I'm very happy with this purchase. Hold it, same thing. Landing. And it slowly just comes on down. See, it's landing over here. All right, so DJI Mini 3 overall, for what I use it for, perfect. It checks all the boxes for me. It's very easy to use. It's very light. It's very easy to store. The battery life is pretty good for what I use it for. It's just a little bit over a half hour. I've never had an issue with that. And really, the only complaints I have about this are not really even fair complaints, because if you do your research, you'll know exactly what you're getting when you purchase this. But one big thing that I didn't realize until after I bought it was that this drone has no type of collision control. So a lot of the newer DJI drones actually have sensors all around. Some of them only have them in the front, some of them only have them in the back, some of them have them 360. So this doesn't really have them at all, except downwards. So not a huge deal, but if you're flying it indoors, it does make it more challenging. Now, that being said, first of all, I don't think you're supposed to fly these indoors. Second of all, if you do, it should be in a big and open space. And third of all, from the little bit of research that I did do, the other DJI drones that do have obstacle avoidance, when people try to fly them indoors for real estate shots, property tours, that kind of thing, they usually end up having to turn it off because, like I said, from what I read, it causes a lot of issues with trying to move around and trying to maneuver the drone when it constantly stops to avoid things. So I was bummed that I didn't have the collision avoidance, but at the same time, I may have had to turn it off anyway for the things that I use it for. So it wasn't really a deal breaker for me. And the other thing was the active track. When I first got into drones, I got into it with the Neo as a gift, and the thing that really I liked about that was the active track. And unfortunately, this drone does not have it. Some of the newer drones, I think the newer version of this, the Mini 4 Pro, does have it. So that would have been a cool feature, but again, not a deal breaker for me. And as a matter of fact, I think there's even ways around it if you play with some of the different modes and features to trick it into following you, which is what active track does. Basically, the drone flies up and just tracks you and follows you wherever you go. So little things, not a big deal. Like I said, to me, they're not a deal breaker. And again, for what I use it for and for the price, which this is about $450 refurbished. That's how I got it with the flat screen here. For what I use it for, it's perfect. So I definitely recommend it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have better recommendations for drones, I'd definitely love to hear it. I definitely would like to upgrade at some point in the future, but right now I'm good with this. Thank you guys for watching.